Good morning, you guys. Hello, Robert. Well, it's Friday morning, and that means it's coffee chat time. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Hi, Ross. So I'm at my brother's house. We stayed overnight here last night, visiting my brother by Regina, Saskatchewan. And I grabbed my coffee this morning. Hello, Jackie. Thanks for joining me, guys. Anyway, it's called a cup of fuck coffee. Cup of fuck coffee. I was just reading it. So, what is that? Well, it's one splash of no one cares, a dash of kiss my arse, and some fuck yous. Add some fuck yous, a pinch of blow me, stir and shove it up your arse. Made me laugh. Hey, yes. Wow. Okay, so today I want to chat with you. Consciousness is not for pussies, part 2. Part 1 was last week, where I talked about my horse and how, it's just so easy to go into the wrongness of any situation, and how with my horse injuring herself, I was going into the wrongness of the whole thing, and the wrongness of her, and the wrongness of me, and that was keeping everything locked up. When you go into the judgment of any situation, you keep it stuck. You solidify it. You cannot, then the energetics of it can't flow and change. Hey, Annalise. And it's so interesting how, hey, Michelle, how that seems to be the default for most people. Like, it takes a lot of presence in the beginning to not go into judgment of a situation. It takes a lot of presence. And getting your bars run really helps. You had 2 of them this morning. You had 2 fuck coffees. That's awesome. Now you're set for the day, Ross. You are ready. Hey, Tanya. And how it takes a certain different kind of strength. And this is like an energetic strength, like almost, I would say, physical strength. Like, to physically train your body to be strong is easier in a lot of aspects than this energetic strength it takes to not go into judgment. So when you go into judgment of anything, you lock it in place and it just doesn't change. So with my horse, when I could finally get to the question and actually get out of the wrongness of the whole event and really look at what would I choose as a future with her if she's no longer a performance horse, and then that led me down the road of breeding her and then finding this weanling, so the energy was flowing again, and then all of a sudden her leg is like good, like she's not, and that was about a month later, like the energy started changing. Hi, Rhea. So anyway, Consciousness is not for pussies, part 2 showed up again. Just an event in our lives that really invites us to get out of the wrongness. So anyway, I traveled to Regina yesterday. Kind of a bit of a story around that, but we're not going to talk about that one today. But so I wasn't in the field yesterday. I'm here. I'm in Regina. My husband phoned us. Travis phoned me on the way yesterday and said, "You'll never guess what." And I'm like, "What?" Our combine started on fire last night. So we have 800 acres left of canola to harvest. And we leave the equipment parked in the field every night, and we always park them close together, the 2 combines and the grain cart and the tractor. And when they went out to the field yesterday to service and fuel up and get ready for the day, he's like, "You couldn't notice it when you pulled up that it was on fire, or that it had a fire. But when you opened it up to do some greasing and to fuel it up," he said, "the fuel tank was melted and there was like little smoldering pockets of fire underneath, like inside of the combine." So he just phoned to let me know that. And I'm like, "Okay, great." I'm like, "So insurance?" And he's like, "Yeah, we phoned our insurance company and they cover a rental. So that's great. So now we have to find a rental." So we found, which could be really hard at this time actually, but we phoned around and we had a rental coming from a dealership in North Battleford. And cool. Okay, now we just have to wait. Like, there's nothing else we can do. We took the action we could. Now we have to wait. So I checked in with him, and I'm like, how's it going? He's like, oh, it's good. The one combine's, running good and whatever. We're still waiting on the rental to come. Okay, cool. Last night. So then, okay, sorry. Sometimes my brain goes really fast. So then he figured that the combine that started on fire wasn't a bad enough fire to totally replace it with insurance. He figured they would probably just fix it, which, fixing up a machine that has started on fire, I mean, that doesn't leave me sitting really comfortable. I mean, I would just be concerned that maybe they missed one thing or something is now faulty and it's not maybe going to operate so well. So that was a little uncomfortable. Travis and I were both kind of like, it would actually have been better if it had totally lit up and then we get a whole new machine through insurance or however that's going to work, right? But then but we're so grateful that it did not just light up in the field, like the whole thing explode, because we could have lost our other combine, which was parked right next to it, and we could have lost the tractor and the grain cart, and we could have lost crop. Like, it is so dry right now. It is actually really goddamn lucky that this could have been way worse than it was, actually. And we're like, oh yeah, good, thank God that didn't happen, So anyway, but we're both kind of like, yeah, that. Okay, so then later on last night, he texts me. He's like, I don't think we're getting our old combine back. They were hauling it away down the highway, and it started on fire on the trailer. As they were going down the highway, it lit up. And Travis said they had to phone the fire department to get it put out. So he's like, I don't think we're getting that one back. I think it's toast, which is kind of what we asked for. And in a situation that actually didn't hurt anything else. So interesting how things show up. But then so after he told me about that, then he started going into this frustration, like the wrongness of it. See, for our farming operation, a combine is not a piece of equipment that we ever thought we would own, because they are so much money. Actually, like a freaking new combine is probably over $1 million. So leasing, we always lease, which seems to work well, but we felt like this Claas, it was our Claas combine that started on fire. If anybody knows the Claas, that we got a few years ago, and we were loving this Claas, and we felt like it was like a really great machine. We started kind of going into this whole, I don't know what you want to call it, like making a utopian ideal, kind of a fantasy around this combine. And we were like, this would be, if we were going to own any combine, I feel like it would be the Claas. I feel like we could get the Claas paid for and own it, and I feel like it would be a good machine to own, basically. Well, there goes that fantasy, because it just lit up. So, you have to face that. And what happens with combines that you own is they get older and then they break down. You're in for repairs, the cost of repairs, which can also cost you downtime in the field, which then with the weather, you never know, you might not get your crop off one year, which is actually a big cost. There's more risk involved. So that's why we usually just lease newer ones. Anyway, we had this whole fantasy that we were going to own the Claas, but that just went up in smoke. So here we are. So Travis started going to last night, feeling frustrated with this. He's like, I felt like we were just getting ahead. And he's like, I'm really pissed right now because when we have to look at getting a new combine now, which is going to cost more money, and interest rates have gone up. And he kind of started going down this whole wrongness path. And I said to him, stop it. Stop. I'm like, this is the thing. When we are always asking for greater things to show up on our farm and in our lives. All of us as a whole. That's what we are. And what if truth, is this the change you've been asking for, showing up in a totally different way than we could ever imagine? Is this what we've been asking for? And it was light. Okay, truth, does the universe have your back? Meaning, Yeah, it does. The universe does have my back. So now you have to trust that and trust those energies. Just like I had to with my horse, with my horse's leg. Is this the change I've been asking for? Yes. Even though I didn't want it that way, it led me to purchasing this weanling filly who's going to be my next one, and it's so exciting. So what is this whole event creating? Your ability to not go into the wrongness of a situation or not put yourself at the effect of how, and then you have to ask questions. So I'm saying to Travis, like, how could this actually make us money? What if this is actually an event that we're going to look back on in a year and be like, Jesus, really good thing that happened actually. And you don't always get to know that. But what if? And then the question, like, how could this actually turn out greater? You know, how could this turn out greater than we could ever imagine? Going into those questions is what stimulates the possibilities. It is what allows the gift to show up. There is something that Shannon O'Hara, I think it was on a Club Consciousness call, she said, what if every single event in your life, what if everything is a gift? It just takes time for that gift to show up, to show itself. And the quicker you can get out of the judgment of what is showing up, the quicker you can get to the gift. That's this again. That's us putting this into practice again. So that. So if you have uncomfortable events showing up in your life, notice if you're going into the judgment of that it's wrong and what you did wrong or whatever, and stop it and ask, what gift is this? How could this show up greater? How could this turn out greater than I could ever imagine? How could this make me money? We never go to that. We always go to, oh, we're going to lose money. It's going to cost us money. But your point of view creates your reality. So if you have that point of view, that is exactly what is going to show up. But start training yourself to have a different point of view or to have no point of view and ask the question, how could this make me money? What is the gift here? How could this turn out greater? Anyway, I will keep you posted on the adventures. The adventure continues of life and living, and all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Does not mean that you have an easy life. It means that you can handle whatever shows up with ease and joy and glory. Anyway, another aspect of this is we are now going to take a half an hour at the end of each day, at the end of each harvest day, and blow off all the grain dust of the combines before they are parked for the night. We're instituting a new practice. That's going to be our new practice now. So we can, it's getting us more aware. What action can we take here? Yes, Annalise, so stop it. So there's the past. You have to stop making the past relevant. Truth, is the past relevant to the future you would like to create? It's a no, in case you're wondering. And now you have to go to, okay, cool. Acknowledge, okay, cool. I made some unconscious choices in the past. I made some choices in the past that didn't create greater, but what awareness can you gain from them now? And take that awareness and create the future that you would like to have. You are not a victim. You are a powerful creator. Whether you're creating shit or awesomeness. And what is shit? That takes judgment, Stop judging. Okay. Pour yourself a cup of fuck offie and have an amazing day. Thank you guys so much for joining me live today. I'm so grateful. And if you got anything out of this video and you'd like to share it, that would be cool. And I will see you later next week for Coffee Chat for sure. And some of you very soon. Mwah. Bye-bye for now. Joy, you just missed it. You're going to have to watch the replay.